Hello and welcome to Unleash Now, Coach Your Way to 250K. I'm Patty Keating, and this is day one of the Unleash Now 5-day challenge. This training today is called the 3 pillars of a 250K coaching business. We're going to cover those, and I'm going to give you a homework assignment. I'm so excited to be here. Yesterday was supposed to be day one, but we tried some new technology and it did not work. So we're back and we're just going to push the challenge out one day because that's what we do when we own a business. We roll with things. We are solution focused. We troubleshoot and find answers. So welcome, welcome. I'm really excited that I get to teach you how to create a coaching business that gets you to 250K and then beyond. 250K is a foundational number that's going to give you the capacity to hire a team, to reduce the hours you're working on your business and allow you to work more in your business. We have tons planned for you this week, so make a commitment first and foremost, and show up. Show up and follow through. That's the thing. Commit, show up, and follow through. And we're going to be giving away some prizes when you do the daily homework. When you commit and you follow through, you get results. But first of all, you have to make a decision and you have to lead yourself across the finish line. No one is going to grow this business for you. You have to do the work, but I'm here to show you the framework and the actions to take. Commitment and follow through are the foundation of success. So who's committed? Put a C in the comments if you are committed to showing up, making decisions, and following through. For the last 19 years, I have been coaching entrepreneurs from many areas in business to grow their business using marketing. Right now, social media marketing, video, and of course, AI are the ways to reach the maximum number of people who need your services. So we are going to cover marketing from your audience to your offer to your sales. When you get that in place, you'll be able to rinse and repeat and begin to scale. So first of all, tell me in the chat real quick, who do you admire as a coach? This is a person you see regularly and you love what they have to say. Maybe you look for them daily, weekly, but you know of them and you appreciate them and you listen to them. So put the name of one of these coaches in the chat. It could be on anything. Tony Robbins, yes. Gabby Bernstein, yes. What is it that had you find these people in the first place? How did you find them? How did you first hear of Gabby Bernstein? How did you first hear of Tony Robbins? How did you first hear of Ed Mylett? How did you first hear of Brené Brown? What is it that had you see them, find them in the first place? Here's what it is. They're consistent, they're committed, and they follow through. They show up. They create an audience and they sell. If you want to grow a coaching business, you have to do the very same thing. You can't sit back and wait for someone to read your bio or agree with a post that you wrote and reach out with their credit card. It's just not, that's not how it works. If you show up for this challenge because, let's say, maybe you want to be a leader, maybe you want to be an inspiration for other people. You want to be a life coach, a health coach, a relationship coach, a business coach. You want to transform lives and be a highly sought out expert in your industry. But you'll never grow if you don't show up, follow through, and be seen. So I want you to commit right now for this 5-day challenge to being seen here daily. If that's a little much for you, practice here because it's a skill that's required. It's just 5 days, but it can completely transform your business. This is the core of everything. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. You know, I went from being a broke single mom to my first $250,000 year. I was recently divorced. And when I started my business, I was recently divorced and I moved to a new city. And I was a single mom to 4 kids. I had just graduated from coaching school and I was selling home decor for a direct sales company. I love their products, and I would do these home shows, you know, the direct sales thing where you go to somebody's house and somebody comes over and have good food and something to drink and you buy stuff. I was highly successful. I'd been at that for only a year, but I was loving it and doing a good job. And I enrolled in coaching school to help me grow my team, to help with my leadership skills. I knew I needed to be a better leader. I knew about business, but I wanted to be a great team leader. And while in coaching school, I started taking clients, and I had 3 clients. They were paying me $250 a month for coaching. And I did what most coaches did back then. I made my business cards and I put up a few flyers around town and I waited for the phone to ring. I was ready. Have any of you done that? Now it's on social media, right? You make an announcement, maybe on LinkedIn or Facebook, you change your bio. Maybe you even let people know about your one-on-one coaching offer in a post, and then you hear nothing. Crickets. Who here has done that too? Put, oh yeah, in the chat, because that's what I did, right? Well, let me tell you, you're not the first, or you're not first and foremost a coach. You're not. You're a business owner. And you want to create, if you want to create multiple 6 figures or 7 figures, you have to think like a business owner first. Businesses have structure. They have offers. They have promotional calendars. And most of all, they follow through. Even, and probably most especially, when they don't feel like it. Some of you are more committed to your feelings than your business. And I say that with love. You have to decide, show up, and follow through. So I was in my new city with my kids and my $750 monthly income. And I knew I needed to create offers beyond one-on-one coaching. I knew I needed to come up with ways I could reach more people, get great results for my clients, and increase my revenue. So I knew I had to promote myself. Here's what I did. Number 1, write this down. I made a decision. I decided I was a speaker. Now, I had never been a speaker, but here's what I knew. I knew that I was an excellent coach. My clients were getting great results. I knew that I was a great business owner. I started my first business when I was 9 years old, Patty's Pumpkins, and I never stopped. I've had businesses ever since. And I knew I had to promote. So I decided that I would speak. And I did have a little bit of speaking experience because I'd been doing these parties in people's homes and presenting these products to maybe, I don't know, 5 to 10 to 15 women. So I was like, could I take this and model it for coaching? I decided yes, and then I committed. So the second step is to show up. I sat down and I made a list of places I could speak. Chambers, associations, service clubs. I made my list. Then I chose one title and I made a 1-page outline for my first talk. Then I picked up the phone and I started making calls. Do you think I got booked? No, I did not get booked. I got things like, we aren't taking speakers right now. We're booked out for the next year. Or, are you a member? They have first priority. And I got a lot of voicemail. And I would go to sleep wondering how I could get these speaking gigs booked. And then the next day, I would, number 3, follow through. I would do it all over again. Just because I showed up yesterday without results didn't mean I would throw out the plan and start something new. I didn't believe the answer that you have to be a member to be a speaker, we're booked out for a year, or the voice messaging. I knew if I stayed with it and I could help these other people, these membership directors at the Chamber of Commerce, for example, provide value to their members, if I could make it a win-win, I could expand my reach. The chamber could provide great value to their members, and I could grow my business. This is one of the components we're going to talk about this week, getting in front of other people's audiences. When the coaches you listed were first getting started, they didn't have a big audience, but they started building an audience by getting in front of other people's audience. They curated their own audience of buyers. So I knew I needed an audience and I stuck with it instead of trying something new. How many of you do that? Be honest. You try something for a few days or so, maybe even a week, and it doesn't work right away. And then you see Megan over there on Instagram doing something different, and you decide, you know what? I've been doing Facebook Lives for a week and I don't have a client yet, but that girl's crushing it. I got to learn Instagram, or insert whatever the distraction is that has you change course before you've really followed through. Follow through. Get yourself across the finish line. That's why when you make a decision, you want to write it down, commit to it, and put it on a timeline. And we're going to talk about cash infusions here in a couple of days. And that is where you decide for 3 days, for 10 days, for 30 days, this one thing is what I'll sell, and here's how I'm going to do it. And you do it no matter what. We'll talk more on that. So a lot of times, people get distracted. I'll just leave it there. Don't get distracted, stay committed and follow through, complete the sprint that you're on, the goal that you're on, the target that you're on. On day 5 of my commitment and my follow through, I got my first speaking gig. On day 7, I got 2 more. And I'll tell you, I was not an overnight success, but I kept speaking. Even when I would be driving to these talks in my car, promising myself I would never make myself do this again because I was nervous. I was like afraid I would mess up. People wouldn't like what I was saying. All these things would come into my mind, but I just kept going. And it got easier and easier. And I learned to speak, and I learned to coach live in front of people, and people love seeing someone else be coached. And suddenly they would come to me afterwards and ask about one-on-one coaching and ask about group coaching. And I began to get my clients, and I ended that year with a 6-figure business. And the next year, it doubled, doing pretty much the same thing. I built out the foundation, and then I brought more people to it. I built my audience. I curated the right people in my audience, an audience of buyers, an audience of people who actually cared about what I was teaching. I set up my promotional calendars, and I followed through, even when nobody bought. There were times I did promotions with no sales, but there's a lesson in that. Sometimes when you do promotions in the future, people are building, they're watching you, especially now on social media. They're watching you. They might not be commenting, they might not be liking, they might not be buying, they're watching. And then out of the blue, you get a message saying, "Should I schedule a VIP day with you? I've been watching your content and I'm ready now. So putting your promotional calendar in place and following through is important. I went from broke single mom to a multi-six-figure coach, and I did it by creating coaching programs that people wanted to buy. I created a promotional calendar and I followed through every single day. Now, listen, I only work 9 days a month. I set a schedule. It was 9 to 3. That was, perfect for me when I had kids. That's when they were at school. So that was my schedule. And I chose Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to coach and train. Monday is like prep day, organizing myself. Friday is wind down day, debriefing. How did I do? But the actual work occurs on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And then the last week of the month, I don't do any trainings or coaching. I've followed this. I've had my business 19 years. I've followed this from day one. So in 9 days a month, I created a $250,000 coaching business in year 2, and you can too. Now let's talk about your offers. How can you create offers, promote, show up daily, and become a six-figure coach? To become like a life coach, a health coach, maybe a relationship coach, a business coach, a sought-out coach in your industry, whatever it is. We want to talk about a few things. And the first thing is your offer. Your offer is step 1. Create coaching programs that sell. So don't overcomplicate this. What are you great at? And what problem does what you're great at solve for your clients? Now, it's important for you to understand that what you're great at might not seem that great to you. You might need to get some feedback on this. The thing that comes most natural to you is the thing you must charge the most for. You might want to write that down. The thing that comes the most natural to you is the thing you must charge the most for. Why? Because that's your skill set. That's your greatest strength. Has to do with your values. There's a lot of reasons why. The first step is to identify what that is. Most coaches mess this part up and start talking about sessions and timing. Oh, you're going to get 3 sessions a month. They're going to be 40 minutes. It's going to go for 3 months, right? Nobody wants to buy a coaching session. Nobody wants to buy a coaching program. People want to buy outcomes. They want to create results. So stop talking about how you package your services and start talking about the results, the problems that you solve. Remember, people buy painkillers way more than vitamins. So what is the solution that you are providing? Make it tangible. So this challenge has a tangible outcome. How to set up the foundation of a $250,000 coaching business. I can show you how to do that. What can you show your clients how to do? What one result do you get for your clients? Write it down and drop it in the chat. Let us know. Be seen. I'll give you a minute. Now, the next step is to make a commitment to promote and sell one offer for the next 10 days. Who's in? Who's in? Who will promote and sell one offer for the next 10 days? Write I'm in the chat. Write I'm in. So this is part of your homework for today. I want you to choose one thing to sell for the next 10 days. Now, before you choose it, I'm going to explain a little bit about coaching programs that sell. We talked about the title. The title is important, that it's associated to the result you get for your clients. Let's talk about different ways to use coaching programs or different offers to make, and then you can choose one, and then we're going to go off to the races, and I've got some prizes for you guys. So the way that you can do this, the easiest is to sit down and figure out what's your signature system. What is your process that you take people through? This takes a little work to pull it out of yourself. And a lot of times people will say, or not a lot, but sometimes people will say, I don't have a process. I meet my clients where they are and I coach them. Well, that's great. And you do have a process. Usually the first step of your signature system is some sort of assessment, right? You want to see where the client's at. You want to know what their vision is. You're taking this client on a journey to a destination. It's important to understand what the destination is. Okay, once you know where they're at, and once you know what their destination is, what's the next step? Well, it's usually some sort of strategy. Here's how we're going to get you from here to here, right? So that's the second step. Write it down. And then how do you do that with people? This is where the training part comes in, right? So that's the third step. So in my signature system, we look at what you want. We look at your values. We use the E code, the core values, the opportunities you have, the purpose you have in life, and your energy. How do you express yourself so we can create programs where you can share your gold in a way that feels natural to you and it's really appealing to your clients. So we start with that. Then we create your 6-figure signature system, which I'm touching on now. Then we curate an audience of buyers, step number 3. Then we captivate those buyers with social media that sells. And then we work on the CEO method of enrollment, because you can curate your buyers, you can captivate their attention. But if you have, limiting beliefs around sales, or you aren't really making the offer, we've got to work through that too. So that's my signature system. Your homework is to look at that. Well, first of all, let me go a little farther. So now I've got my system because I want to help you create your coaching program today that you're going to sell. Would that be helpful? Put helpful if that would be helpful. All right, so you've got your signature system, and you might not flesh that all out today, but what I want to do with you today is help you see how, now that you've got this system, there's many ways to offer it. You can offer it as a 3, 6, 9, 12-month coaching package, right? My mastermind is a 12-month offer that gets people from A to Z in my signature system, okay? You could take that signature system and turn it into a VIP day. I just did one 3 days ago, and go through the same process, or choose one component of the process. Maybe somebody wants to map out their signature system. Maybe somebody wants to spend the day curating an audience and learning and timelining their posts and creating captivating content for social media that sells. Maybe another person wants to learn the CEO method of enrollment, and we spend the whole day mastering sales, right? So I can take any component and turn it into a VIP day. You could offer it as a workshop. You could invite people in, take them through your system. You could offer it up as a 3-day event, a 1-day event. There's so many ways you can use this, but you need to invest the time up front to get clear about what your offers are, when you're going to offer them, because once you've got them, then we can begin to bundle them, right? So if you are in my mastermind, you get my coaching business school as a bonus. If you are, maybe if you're going to do a 6-month coaching program, you could bundle in a VIP day on the front end and give them a credit. I offer my clients a 50% credit when they're in my high ticket, my mastermind, my one-on-ones, to do a VIP day. So there's ways you can begin to package these together and then put them into one of these 3, 10, or 30-day promotional cash infusions. Does that make sense? Today, we don't need to get it complicated. You don't have to start thinking about bundling and all of that. Unless you're, maybe you've already got a bunch of offers and you're like, maybe you're having some ahas that, wow, I could sell a half VIP day with my coaching package, or I'm about to fill my whatever, like some program you're filling. So I'm going to offer, an hour session as a complement to the program for the first 5 people who pay in full. We're going to talk a little bit about sales later this week as well. For today, I want you to choose one offer that you will commit to selling for the next 10 days. And this is your homework. First, I want you to make a video in the Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group, get in the Facebook group. I'll drop a link below to register for the challenge, and that will take you into the Facebook group. So I want you to make a video and share what you're committed to doing for the next 10 days. Share your commitment. What's your offer? And what's your commitment? All in would be the commitment I would be looking for. And we have some gift cards to give away. So some of you will get $50 gift cards for doing the homework. I will pay you to make a decision and get into action. Because, you know, I know that this is the thing that many coaches struggle with. They have a start stop, or maybe they're not being seen. Remember, the coaches that you admire, they're seen. And so maybe this is a challenge for you, which is why I do these challenges. All right, so step one, create your coaching program that sells. So you want to give it a title, remember, that is speaking to the benefits or the results. Step two is to curate an audience of buyers. So who do you want to have see your offers? If you could just hand pick, you know, anybody. Who would you most like to have see your offers? Think about that for a minute. A lot of times coaches don't want to use their personal profile on Facebook. Let's talk about social media and Facebook, because that's where I do most of my sales. They don't want to like put offers on their profile because, you know, friends, family, what will people think? Kind of thoughts come up. I want you to remember that other people's opinions are none of your business. Remember, you're a business owner, first and foremost, and you make offers, you have promotions, and you make sales. If you want people to buy from you, then you have to put your open sign up, open for business. If you don't put your open sign up, it's hard for people to know what you're, you know, what you're about. Many of you are sitting on a gold mine and you're wondering where the shovel is. This is your shovel. You've got free real estate on your Facebook profile for 5,000 people. 5,000 people. And you get to decide who sees it. If you don't have 5,000 friends, get busy. I'm going to show you how to curate an audience of buyers right now. You need to go find your people. How do you do that? Facebook is a search engine. Go to the top and put in whatever you coach on and search for groups. Okay, just find some groups. Look for groups that are active between maybe 2,000 and 20,000 people, maybe a little bit bigger, but sometimes smaller groups are a great place to start out. So check out groups, and I don't want you to go in there and spam anybody. So don't be worried about this. We're not going to have you do any, you know, chasing. We are using what I call pull marketing, not push marketing. Okay, so we're going to pull people to you. How do you do that? You're going to write up one of these types of posts, either inspirational, which is a story post, usually about you. Here's where I was. Here's where I'm at now. Single mom to 250K in 2 years. Single broke mom. Okay. Some sort of story post or an educational post, which could be something like, here's the 3 things you need to create a 250K coaching business. Create a coaching program that sells, curate an audience of buyers, right? Like some sort of educational post or an informational post. An informational post informs people of what you stand for. So that's a little deeper look at who you are. You're informing people. This is who I am. This is what I believe. This is what I stand for. And these can be a little more controversial. And that's good. You want the people who have similar values to you to come on over. So don't be afraid to share your viewpoint. It's an unpopular thing to do these days, but it's definitely worth it and important for you in your business for people to understand who you really are and inform them of that. So I will write posts like I just said earlier. The thing that comes most natural to you is the thing you must charge the most for. And people will go, yeah. And other people are like, what? Right. So that's what we want. So that's an informational post. No selling, no hinting at selling, just share who you are, what you believe, or how you can educate something, and add a picture of you. So if you just joined the group, hi, I'm Patty Keating, and I'm here because I am committed to XYZ, or however you want to introduce yourself, share a little story, share education, or inform them. So add a picture of you, not an infographic and not a quote. You. We are inviting people to see you. Remember, if you want to grow your coaching business, you have to be visible. You have to be visible. So a picture of you. Put it in 2 of the groups you found. But before you do that, I want you to create what I call your Facebook profile funnel. And it's really easy. I want you to make sure that your profile header mentions your business. The open sign is on. I want you to make sure that your bio or your description talks about what you do, your business. Okay. Now, here's what happens. You make this post in a group, people like it, and what do we all do? Who is this person? We look at their profile. We look at their picture and their header. And your header says, here's what I do. And you have a picture of you, not a picture of a rose, not a picture of your dog, a picture of you that looks like you might be a business owner. Looks like you are definitely a business owner. People look at that and they will friend request you. Now you're curating an audience of buyers. They're buying into what you believe. They're buying into what you stand for. They're buying into what you're educating them on. Then go back and answer every single comment on your post in the group. Just comment back. This helps the algorithm show it to more people. Now, as you're commenting, I want you to look at the person who wrote the comment. Just put your mouse over their profile name, and you might see friends or friend request sent. So people will see you, they'll like what you have to say, and they'll friend request you. Accept it. This is pull marketing. People are coming to you. Also, go up to the likes and click on the profile or the post, go to the likes and look at who liked it and hover over their name and look for people who sent you friend requests. These are people who want to know more. These are leads. These are people raising their hand saying, I like what you said and I want to know more. Do you see how easy this is? You are a leader as a coach. You are a lighthouse. You shine and people come. No chasing, no spamming, no messaging to tell people what it is you do. Just take a stand in front of your audience. Take a stand for your audience. Speak to them. Share what they might be needing to hear from you. Let me tell you, I had 250 people in 24 hours come over, see my Facebook group, and join from one post in one group. It doesn't always go that way. However, sometimes it does. Excuse me. So your homework, part 2, is to identify 1 to 2 groups and write a post and post it. Post it in 2 groups. Make sure you have your profile mentioning your business. Your open sign is on. And then the next thing I want you to do is think of maybe 5 to 10 people who you would love to have follow you. And we're going to use that later. I want you to to jot that down. In the Facebook group, I want you to put your homework under the homework post or create a video. Video is preferable. You don't need to put the names of the people or even the names of the group, just that you have done the work. We'll put a homework list up for you. Okay, so once you've done that, excuse me. So once you've done that, back to my signature system, right? You're starting to go out and curate an audience of buyers. You've worked on your signature system. This is actually a little mini training of the first module in my coaching business school. How many people would like to hear more about my coaching business school? Put coaching business school or CBS in the comments. I'm going to share that with you. Last year I ran that program and it had great results. People went from 5K months to 25K months, which gets you over $250,000 in your business in a year. Following these steps and implementing a coaching business strategy that actually allows you to sustain growth, because as you start, once you get these pieces I'm teaching you in place, then you can bring more and more people through. We talk about email lists, we talk about testimonials, we talk about speaking, joint venture partnerships, all of that. But what I want to teach you today and during these 5 days is just how to make money right now. Let's just go make some money, because a lot of people feel confused about that part. I am relaunching the Coaching Business School. I'll tell you more about it, and I'm going to offer you guys a special rate. I'm going to give you $2,500 like for this week, but we're gonna first get started with your offer. I want you to go put your offer out and follow through every day with the strategy that you've chosen, which is to reach out, make some posts, let people know, post every day, pick up the phone, call people. Clarity is king, right? And nothing builds your confidence more than having the courage to take a stand for your business and to start bringing in clients. You're going to see this works, and then your confidence goes up. But you don't work on your confidence first. You work on your courage. Your courage shows up when you don't feel like doing it. You're scared. What are people going to think? Put all that in the back seat and just go ahead and follow the coaching. Take the coaching, follow the steps, and watch what happens. All right, I will be back tomorrow. Thank you for being here. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with in your homework, and I'll be posting and looking for it each night. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, be real, take a stand, and change lives.